everyone, and welcome to Quarantined Theatre Company's third series, Can You Hear Me? My name is Hahn, and I am the producing artistic director of Quarantined Theatre Company. I'm so very grateful that each of you could join us this evening as we share in art and live performance in the face of social distancing. I would like to issue a special thank you to our donors for helping us to afford the necessary resources to continue bringing live performance of new work to many people stuck at home during quarantine. If you are interested in helping to support this project, you can find the link to our Ko-fi donation page in the description box below. There, you can donate a cup of coffee for as little as $3 to help keep this project going. In addition to supporting us, your donations, 50% of them, will also go towards Artists Relief. Artists Relief provides grants and other resources to artists struggling to support themselves during the current crisis. You can find a link to their website and information about them also in the description box below. Tonight, we examine communication in a new play series that explores our ability to find and listen to each other, even in difficult circumstances. Tonight, we feature two new plays. First will be Ruth by Tom Piccin, and second will be Waiting for the Wave by Abrams. Ruth was directed by Madelyn Dominiski with dramaturgy by Balick Goodman. It will feature actors Susan Holliday, Sybil Johnson, Ibach, and William McCann. You can find information about any of these artists, as well as the process of creating this piece, in the description box below. Technically, in the virtual program, which is in the description box below. In this COVID-19 era, we are being pushed further and further apart by fear and isolation. In moments such as these, it is all the more important to come together. But as we have proven, we are resilient and will always find ways to connect with each other, even when it seems impossible. So thank you for taking the time to come together tonight, to share in the new work and the passion of these talented and hardworking artists. As our world grows further apart, you have proven tonight that we will always find ways to stay connected. So please, without further ado, lean forward and engage with Tom Piccin's Ruth.
Ruth, a 10-minute play by Tom Piccin. Setting: a room in a nursing home. There are two beds. In addition to the beds, there are two chairs. If the chair closest to the window is occupied by Ruth, the chair closest to the door is empty. At rise, Ruth is motionless, staring off toward the window. Sarah enters left.
Morning, Mom. How are you doing today?
Sarah crosses right to open the window curtains. During the course of their conversation, Sarah tidies up the room, throws away some empty plastic cups and tissues on the bedside table, straightens her mother's sheets and blankets, adjusts her pillow, etc.
Oh, hi. I didn't know you were coming today.
Oh, sure you did, Mom. I come every day. You know that.
Oh, well, thank goodness that you're here. You wouldn't believe what I've been through today.
Oh, did something happen?
I've been through hell. Nobody pays attention.
Oh, I don't think that's true. Why don't you tell me what happened?
Well, someone was in here all morning, poking me and pulling my leg this way and that. Oh, it was awful.
That was probably Samantha, your physical therapist.
No, it wasn't her. It was someone else. I don't know who it was, but she wasn't very nice at all. And she had purple hair. Can you imagine? I never saw anything like that in my life.
Yes, that was Samantha, and she's always very nice to you. You know that. And she doesn't have purple hair. She has very pretty dark hair with purple highlights. That's a very popular style. Last week you said you liked her hair. Don't you remember?
Well, she wasn't very nice to me today. I kept telling her I wanted to go for a drive, but she wouldn't listen.
Mom, you can't go for a drive. You fell and broke your hip, remember? You need some time to heal. That's why you're here.
Yes, yes, I remember. I fell in my room. I don't know what happened. I was supposed to meet Claire for lunch, and I went to pick up my bag, and the next thing I knew, I was on the floor. I went right down.
I know. I was in the other room and I heard you fall. You scared me to death.
Well, thank goodness your father was there. He lifted me right up like I didn't weigh anything at all.
No, Mom. That was the EMT who picked you up.
The what?
The ambulance worker. He put you on a stretcher and they brought you to the hospital.
I'm in the hospital?
No, Mom. This is a rehab facility. When you left the hospital, we brought you here. You've been here for about 3 weeks. You're going to stay here for a while until your hip heals, and then we can bring you home.
Oh. Is your father here?
No, Mom. Dad's gone. Don't you remember? He's been gone 11 years now.
Oh, yes, I remember. Your father was a fine man. Every summer, he took us to Cape Cod. We like going to the beach, don't we?
Yes, we do.
You and I go to the beach every day. Your father doesn't care much for the sun, but you and I go every day. You like to play in the sand. You're afraid to go in the water, though.
That was a long time ago, Mom.
The water won't hurt you. You just need to keep your head up and watch where you step. You can hold my hand. Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid of the water anymore, Mom. It's okay.
A beat. Sarah sits in the chair next to Ruth.
How is your pain today?
My what?
Your pain? Are you in any pain today?
Oh, yes.
Where does it hurt?
I don't think we'll go to the beach today.
Ruth turns to stare out the window.
Mom, can you tell me where it hurts?
Ruth continues to stare out the window and does not respond.
Mom, the nurses tell me you haven't been able to stand up because you say it hurts too much. If we can't fix the pain, then we can't get you up and walking again. Can you tell me where it hurts? Is it still your legs?
What's her name again?
Who?
The other woman.
What other woman?
You know, that woman.
Do you mean Joan, the woman who was in the other bed, your roommate?
Yes, Joan. I wonder where she went.
She passed away a few nights ago, Mom. She was very sick.
Oh, yes, I remember now. Joan in the other bed. The pretty young nurse took care of her.
That's right, Christine. Christine takes care of you too.
Christine, beauty queen.
Christine enters carrying a lunch tray.
Did someone mention my name?
She sets the tray on the bedside table.
How are you feeling, Ruth?
Pretty good. I'm going home today.
Christine and Sarah exchange glances.
I don't think that's a good idea, honey. You're not quite ready to walk on your own yet. She had a pretty good night, according to the night nurse. She did have some pain in her legs, but she was able to sleep most of the night.
Leg pain seems to be what's keeping her down. If she can't stand without pain, she's not going to be able to regain mobility. What's going on with the physical therapy?
We had to ease up temporarily on the PT. The MRI showed some small fractures in her lower back, which we hope to treat this week with a quick procedure. That should give her some immediate relief from the pain.
And then she'll be able to stand up and start walking again?
That's the hope. Yes. Once we get her back on her feet, the PT should help and she should have a much better chance of recovering quickly. I'm sorry. I know it's frustrating. We have to coordinate with the hospital and arrange transport. It takes time. We're doing the best we can. Trust me, I know what your mom is going through, and I know it's tough on both of you. We're working on it. Are you hungry, Ruth?
No, I don't think so.
Well, try to eat something, okay? I'll check in on you in a little bit.
Christine smiles reassuringly at Sarah and exits. During the course of the following conversation, Sarah helps Ruth eat her lunch, keeping her focused and sometimes feeding her. Ruth frequently gets distracted or stares out the window.
Do you want some lunch?
Joan with all the money. Christine took care of her.
Joan had money. Good for her. Looks like mac and cheese today.
Oh, yes. Her husband left her a fortune, and she had just the one son, Kenny. So it all goes to him. Kenny, horn o' plenty.
Wow, lucky guy. Here, Mom, eat some macaroni.
Ruth eats.
Kenny and Christine. They want to get married, you know.
Kenny and Christine, they're a couple?
Oh, yes. I see things, you know. I hear things. Christine, beauty queen.
Well, good for them. Apparently, Joan had been here for several months, so Kenny must have visited a lot. Here, how about some applesauce?
Oh, yes. They want to get married. But Mother won't have it. No, sir. Don't let that one get her claws into you.
Mom, we're hoping that you'll be back on your feet soon, maybe in a couple of weeks. I want to talk to you about what will happen then.
Yes, I'll be back on my feet soon.
You can come back home, of course. We love having you live with us. But another option is to stay here.
Stay here?
Yes, they have a long-term care wing, and you could stay as long as you want.
Ruth turns to stare out the window.
Kenny and Christine. Mother was not happy about that, no, sir.
Sarah is thinking aloud as much as she is talking to Ruth.
I'm not sure what would be best. We want you at home, of course. I'm worried that we can't give you the care and attention that you need. And if you stayed here, they would take very good care of you. And I could still see you every day.
Mother was a problem, but Christine took care of her.
You're not a problem, Mom. I just want to make sure that I'm doing what you want. I want you to be happy with the decision.
Look at you. You're so pretty and grown up. Your father and I are very proud of you.
Dad's gone, Mom.
Yes, I know. He won't be coming with us to the beach today. He doesn't care for the sun.
Here, Mom. Drink some water.
Sarah holds up a cup with the straw, and Ruth drinks.
So, what do you think, Mom? Do you want to stay here or come home with me?
Your father won't be coming to the beach today.
Mom.
He won't be coming to the beach because he's working. Every year he worked overtime and weekends so that we could go to Cape Cod. He wanted us to have our vacation. He gave up his vacation so we could have ours.
I didn't know that.
Ruth looks intently at Sarah and, for a moment, seems fully present.
Your father was a fine man, but he forgot that being together is what matters most. I would give up the beach forever if I could have just one more day with him. Nothing is more important than being together.
Okay, Mom. I understand. We'll stay together.
Ruth turns to stare out the window. There is a moment of silence.
What was that other woman's name?
Joan?
Oh, yes, Joan. That pretty nurse took care of her.
Yes, Christine took care of Joan, and she takes care of you too.
Oh, I hope not. I don't think we'll go to the beach today. Maybe tomorrow.
Christine enters carrying a small cup containing a few pills.
Here you go, Ruth. Got your medicine?
Mom, I have to go back to work, but I'll see you again tonight after dinner to visit, okay?
Sarah strokes Ruth's hair, but Ruth does not respond. Sarah smiles at Christine and leaves.
I've got some good news for you, Ruth. It looks like you'll be getting a new roommate tomorrow. I know it's been lonely in here since we lost Joan.
Oh, yes. We lost Joan. You took care of her.
Yes, I did. Here you go, honey.
Christine gives Ruth a pill and a cup of water. Ruth swallows the pill.
Oh, yes. You took care of her. I see things, you know. I hear things. The night we lost Joan, you were here, fiddling with her morphine.
Joan was in a lot of pain. We did our best to keep her comfortable.
Nothing's more important than being together. You and Kenny wanted to be together, but Joan was a problem.
Why don't you take a nap, honey? I'll check in on you in a little bit.
Joan was a problem, but you took care of her, didn't you? Now you and Kenny can be together with all that money.
Christine turns and looks hard at Ruth. Ruth meets her gaze. There's a long moment of deadly silence. Finally, Christine smiles.
You sound a little confused, Ruth, but I'll make a deal with you. You keep my secret, and I'll have you back on your feet and back home in no time.
Ruth turns to stare out the window. Christine pats Ruth's arm, picks up the lunch tray, and exits.
Christine, Christine, beauty queen.
End of play.
Hi everyone, it's me again. Our second and final reading of the evening will be Waiting for the Wave by Ellen Abrams. This piece was directed by Rory Willits with dramaturgy by Isabel Springer. The cast features Shurersfree Doss, Allison Turkle, Kimberly Kemp, Dylan Renfrow, and Isabel Springer. At this time, I would like to inform you that this play does allude to topics of abuse and COVID-related isolation that may be triggering for some audience members. So, if you would like to turn off your video, thank you very much for joining us and have a great night. If you are curious about any of our artistic teams this evening, you can find our virtual program in the description box below. Thank you once more for connecting with us virtually and artistically this evening. Lean forward and enjoy Ellen Abrams' Waiting for the Wave.
Waiting for the Wave by Ellen Abrams. Setting: the back windows of 3 facing apartments. Time: the pandemic lockdown. Silhouettes of apartment fire escapes. At Rise, Suki and Marla.
Said I've seen you on the street outside when we were allowed to go outside.
Oh yeah? Sure. Yeah, sure. I've seen you too. How are you doing? I'm Suki, by the way.
Me? I'm okay. Marla. But my poor mother.
Is she sick?
Oh, not that way. It's, well, she's old and she has every ailment known to man except that one.
Must be a relief.
But even so, she doesn't exactly suffer in silence.
Marley, are you there, dear?
Where else would I be, Ma? It's been against the law to go outside for like 4 months.
Can't be 4 months already.
Feels like that to me. Do you know anyone who has it?
Awful. You?
Know someone who has gotten sick or has even...
If we were living in the Middle Ages, we would think that this plague was God's punishment for our sins. But you gotta wonder if it's God punishing us for the sin of electing Donald Trump, or maybe he's punishing Donald Trump through all of us.
I heard they're grabbing anyone seen on the street after dark and shoving them into makeshift jails on Governor's Island.
There's only so long you can stay indoors without going a little nuts and sneaking outside.
At least we have our windows.
Except you can't even see the sunset from here. Used to be you could just see it by standing on any old west-facing street in the city. God, the light of the sky, the saffron, oh, peach, indigo, mauve, like some mad exploding canvas of colors.
The moon, remember that? Sharp silver crescent against the cold, dark night sky. I don't think they'll ever let us out. I don't get it. The worst is over, right?
No one knows if we've hit the worst of it yet. You know who screwed up the lockdown, so.
You don't believe that? That it was his fault?
It was getting better. The numbers were going down, but he wanted to play golf again, hold rallies again, feel the love of the people again. So he opened up the country, and look what we got.
What did we get?
Thousands more dead people, and dead pets, and dead hopes that this would all end quickly.
He didn't spread the virus himself.
He might as well have.
Is that what your husband thinks?
Nick thinks that if you get sick, you should take it without complaint. If you can't get into a hospital, then die at home and stop making such a fuss.
I think I'm with him.
Then why are you caring for your mother?
I wanted to do the right thing, but the right thing is driving me crazy.
Be grateful that she doesn't have it.
Have you seen that cute little family walking on the street? You know, the one with the twin boy and girl, Robbie and Bonnie.
They're the cutest kids for 10 bucks around. Oh, I miss seeing them around.
Robbie died, I heard.
No, awful.
For poor circulation, arrhythmia, backed up kidney, everything. I just
think that our lives will be different when it finally ends.
I know I'm not going to share with him. Advertiser with me now on until the day I die.
No, what I mean is, will we be able to trust one another again enough to stand close? When we're liberated from this timeless confinement, will people be less wicked? Or, out of sheer relief, be more wicked than ever before?
My guess, the second part. Now that they've started people on the street, can we ever go back?
We've got to, don't we? Or else we're like the same kind of, we're like some other kind of country. The kind that we always say we're not like.
We're still not like that. He wouldn't let us become that.
He's the reason we're becoming that.
You're wrong.
He didn't listen to the experts.
Well, he's as smart as any.
All three of them graduated from Trump Medical College.
Really? He runs one of those too?
He also said that the cause of the Great Plague of the Middle Ages was the triple conjunction of Saturn, Jupiter, and Mars to the 40th degree. Brady fella!
The reason I'm not going out is the pollution.
The what?
The what?
The carbon dioxide we exhale is what is destroying our environment. I saw that on TV too, or maybe on the cover of the New York Post. We've got to stop exhaling so often.
Really?
They got rid of that
What?
What?
Yeah.
I never went out much before all of this anyway. Now that it's forbidden, that is just fine with me. So, how's your mother?
Same.
Does she have it? She should really be in the hospital so she doesn't infect and slaughter the entire building.
Her mother's too frail to leave their apartment. She's not making the building sick.
She doesn't have it. I swear.
You should be wearing a mask like I do so you don't infect the atmosphere. You too.
Uh-huh.
Fine. Just don't come crying to me when the whole neighborhood is ordered into underground quarantine because you too didn't wear mask. I heard that's next. For blue states only.
This thing is bigger than exhaling.
I hope you at least wear a mask when you're helping your mother.
I'm sure she does. How are you doing?
Lydia, you know,
Right.
we've met before, you know, at the bodega on 94th Street.
Yes, of course. I remember.
You laughed at me.
No.
I had run out of seltzer.
Oh, yes.
Remember?
You wanted seltzer that didn't have
Too
the
many bubbles. Well, I don't know, but I don't like bubbles. They give me gas. So I politely asked the proprietor to point out the seltzer. It didn't have too many bubbles. This one and her husband laughed at me loudly.
Did you find something less bubbly?
Not in that store.
Well, I am so sorry we laughed. The request took us by surprise. I hope we didn't offend you.
You most certainly did.
Oh, I see. I'm very sorry. Seltzer bubbles can be troublesome.
Did you hear about Robbie?
One of the twins?
Died.
Oh, geez. I love those kids. I mean, the once or twice I saw them.
How long ago did it happen?
I don't.
I've lost track of time too. Is it May or October? Yes, it is.
Hey, where's your husband?
How did you know I was married?
I hear things.
We all face a court.
What sort of things?
I don't think I should say. Marriage and quarantine, not exactly a recipe for romance.
What's she on about? We live in small old. Can't keep private things. No one knows that.
Mind your own business.
God, that man is a rageaholic.
Pizza delivery guy says he's a lousy tipper.
You think he, hits her? Spousal abuse is way up. Everyone's gonna more crazy than usual, even for New York.
My nephew had to. I feel terrible.
I have never been married. Not me. You?
3 times, if you can believe it. I didn't. 2 of those times I was married to a guys named Nick are not.
So you believe the name makes the man?
I know the name Nick makes the man rotten. I believe that much.
Marley, are you still there?
Where can I go, Ma?
A glass of water, if it's not too much trouble.
Be right with you.
I'm getting dehydrated.
I'm getting delirious.
Hey, I heard he's a drinker.
No, no, no. The problem is he's too handsome. Never trust handsome men. They're snakes. Both my Nicks were handsome.
So, who lives on top of you?
Up there, kid with a trumpet, plays badly. Luckily, he hates to practice.
But if he practiced more, maybe he'd get better.
Not this kid. I used to sing. I know a musician when I hear one. That kid ain't no musician.
Where do you sing?
Vegas.
You're kidding!
I was a singer.
There are such things?
Came home to care for.
Oh, sweet.
Also, I got old. Old showgirls are called waitresses.
A showgirl. Wow. I always wondered what it would be like to be a showgirl.
It's not as glamorous as it sounds.
Did you wear a sparkly costume?
What there was of it was quite sparkly.
Huh. Is Vegas on lockdown?
It was until their mayor opened up the strip again, and then,
Oh,
well,
yeah. She got sick, right? Karma, I guess.
they could let us out now in New York. That much I know. The curve is as flat as it can go.
What makes you so sure?
I can read it.
I'm very happy indoors. I read the paper, books. I watch Law and Order, Law and Order, and Law and Order. My favorite one
I think is punishing us, trying to break our spirits. We can't let them do that. It's time to take to the streets.
But the streets are dirty. The people, they're diseased. There are no clean surfaces.
That's just what they want you to believe. Don't fall for their lies.
Why would they lie about this?
Think about it.
I am. And I still don't understand what you're getting at.
By the way, she wasn't just a showgirl. She was a stripper. A hooker, I heard.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I think her mother has it.
She says not.
Can we believe anyone anymore?
She the one who said it?
No, it wasn't her. This is Lydia.
Who?
Remember that not too many bubbles at the seltzer at the bodega, Lydia?
No. That was her? You? Oh, that was the funniest goddamn thing I ever heard at a bodega.
Glad I made your day.
Oh, no, really. We were talking about that for weeks afterward.
Okay, honey, enough.
We told everyone that story. Everyone. I mean, sometimes it comes to me in the middle of a session and I just burst out laughing. Then I tell my physical therapy patients and then they start laughing.
Okay, honey.
Oh, I've been living here for like 10 years and I've never heard anything so New Yorky.
Nick, enough.
Go to hell.
You first.
My door's always open.
Get out of my life.
Oh, I hate you.
He can be such a prick.
It'll get better, honey. You're both young. It's toughest when you're young, or so I've heard. Well, this thing is either going to make us stronger or break us all.
I can feel myself cracking.
Look, we've survived this long under these conditions and in the hottest viral hotspot in the country. We can keep going.
You gotta at least try, right?
Sorry about before.
I'm sorry too. Should have kept my mouth shut.
I guess we all forget where we are sometimes and just let loose. Hey, do either of you know who lives in this one?
Oh, fortune teller.
We live with a fortune teller amongst us.
Lady minister, you can hear her practicing her sermons. Over there, a teenage daughter and a frazzled mom. Am I the only one who hears them fighting after midnight? The one below them is a subway drummer. So loud!
Why doesn't the fortune teller predict when this thing will end?
It's one thing to guess that a tall, dark stranger is coming into your life. And it's another to foretell when an international pandemic will fade away.
Well, not according to you know who. He knows more than the doctors, he says.
He doesn't.
He thinks wind turbines cause cancer.
They don't.
He said the high number of cases is a badge of honor.
Okay, now that's insane.
Suki, could you maybe toss a note into the fortune teller's window and ask her about the virus's estimated time of exodus?
Maybe not. I heard that she expected that both the twins would survive, healthy and happy.
I don't know what I'd do if I lost someone I loved to this, just because you know who refused to believe it could happen and fired the experts who told him it could.
Why would he do that?
He thought it would make Obama look bad. Yeah, that's not very mature, and it's worse than that. It's criminal.
Yeah, I don't know how Robbie's parents would feel if they knew that that's why their son died. Do either of you have kids?
We thought we wanted them, but it doesn't seem like such a great idea anymore.
Never wanted them. What about you, Lydia?
Ah, look at me. I've gone on like 5 dates in my entire life. I couldn't have paid a man to impregnate me.
Don't say that.
Your looks are fine.
Whatever.
That sound drives my cat crazy. You would think she'd get used to it after all this time, but she just stands on her hind legs and yowls at the window every single night.
Even my mother forgets her ailments when it rolls in, grins the entire time it goes on.
The only exercise I get anymore is the clapping.
My hands got so tired, I started using these.
Oh, so you're the one doing that.
They're our heroes. Gotta make some noise.
Someone on the radio said they'd rather have PPE than applause.
But since we can't give them that, we do this. I hope they know how proud we are, how much we know we owe them.
Any frontliners in your building?
I used to see a med student coming in as I was going out in the morning, and oh, There's a hardware store owner a few doors down on our block.
To tell you the truth, I'm sort of amazed that this tribute has gone on as long as it has, especially in this neighborhood.
Just goes to show. New York tender.
You mean New York tough, like a well-done steak that is surprisingly tasty.
No, I meant tender. We do this. It's nice. New Yorkers can be tender and tough.
Marley, is it time?
Almost, Mom.
Notice how it gradually moves up the island until it gets closer and closer and lands like a warm and welcoming smile or something. Oh, makes you feel really good, right?
And then you hear it move off away.
It is joyful. I really am pleased to have met you ladies.
Oh,
You know the cliche, with all the people in the city, you never get to know your own neighbors until something terrible like this happens.
it's true what they say about New York. It's just a big, small town.
Nobody says that about New York. Nobody in her right mind.
I think it's true.
If we ever get out of quarantine, how about a cappuccino at that little cafe on 98th? My treat. You too, Lydia. You could get out more, stretch your legs, get some color.
Maybe.
See you both then. And until then, for a few more tomorrows,